Turn down the tunes a little bit. Jamming. Hello. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to the stream. Another day, another study session. What do you know? Learning computer science and programming. Kicking it back to the dates, right? Forgot to do those the past couple of streams. Today is Thursday, May 29th. Man, May is almost done. Can you believe that? We're almost to month 6, almost halfway done with 2025. Year has really flown by, man. Just the year of learning and studying. Right, guys? Am I right, you guys? We are all on the year of learning and studying. We are all, yeah, so thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome back to the stream. All right, let me grab my chat here. Let's get the chat up. Let's get the chat up. I like this one. That first one just slaps, though. It's like the good stream opener. It's like the good breakdown at the beginning. All right, we are live and we are good to go here. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining me, guys, on YouTube. Appreciate you guys being here. Welcome back to the stream. If you guys are not in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord here. Right? We have fun and chat. We like to talk, share stuff. I have all my resources here, from Python books, open source projects, my own projects that I've turned open source for you guys, my a project showcase overall, mathematics that we're going through. I need to right, we added that Khan Academy calculus that we're doing. We got to keep going on that, but the projects and the coding actually takes precedent, in my opinion. That's the most important thing, and so that's why I'm going to continue with here, because people just like to do the problems, and they just like to watch tutorials and not build their own projects or finish their own projects. So I'm trying to, and coming without a CS degree, I have to have these projects to showcase my skills at a coding perspective and a project knowledge perspective. So that's what is most important, in my opinion, even to get an interview, let alone, and then you can worry about leak code for the actual interview. But to actually get in the door and pass the recruiter, this is what's going to have to do. All right. Welcome back into the stream. All right. What is SpectroSim? A couple of people. No, not a mass spectrometer. Well, not a mass spectrometer. It's a, I think it's, let's look up absorption. What is the... Shoot. I can't spell today. Hold on. Need to widen my window here. Let's see. Device. Define, for instance. Modern absorption spectroscopy devices use multi-channel detectors, charge-coupled devices. Jeez, how do they figure all this stuff out? So they're kind of like their own thing. They're detected by their own thing, right? So it detects like the electromagnetic radiation within a sample, allowing for determinate concentration of specific substances within. Right? So I currently broke my function. We can't actually generate plots anymore because I switched over to Plotly, but we have kind of like that Gaussian distribution curve over some wavelengths, and we can see as various compounds, right, this data here, we can generate these plots of that. So let's go ahead and get our project loaded on up here, y'all. Okay. Let me throw on the TTS here so I can see it. All right. Git status. Modified the compound class. I guess. I just added some spacings. And then, okay. I think so. Well, hold on. Where's my prettier formatter? It should be enabled. Python. Prettier is disabled in Python. Now it's enabled. Oh, prettier doesn't work for that? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Whatever, we don't need to add yet. Okay. So where are we though? We are on dev branch. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so let's go to okay, what we left off on yesterday. Okay, what are today's goals? So we need to figure out what we want to do today. So yesterday we actually figured out, if you guys were here for the late night, we actually finished and got the actual generation of content in our cache here. We kind of did the math a couple of weeks back, not in Python alone, but just programming, because I have been starting to go into, some C, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and stuff. So, but like in general, I think it's over like 600 hours so far. About maybe 550. So if we say 600, and then I think about 400 of that, maybe even like 500 of that is Python.
Tim says, "Good evening, Mike. If there's no leave me and Mohan are
You guys will be back tomorrow. We're dedicated here, boys. Okay. All right. We gotta do work. We gotta get this project going here.
says, "Well, bro, that's amazing."
Nice, dude. Yeah. That's just from adding up hours here on the stream coding. Now, we're not coding the whole time, but we're thinking about it, solving stuff, reading books, studying. So that's like in terms of like studying and all my study hours in computer science so far. Okay. Let's keep pushing though. So today's goal, we want to also include a description parse, right? So we need to
Says me and Mohan are going to Cabo if there's no leave.
we need to figure out a so let's go here to our web scraper, right? Okay, so I want to okay, let's go back. So we get a compound ID, we get data, and then I'm parsing for the max absorption. Okay. So we want to parse out the description. So we can see, we get a description section here. Okay, so then let's do this. Ready? So let's call write data on data dict. Right? So if we write the data here, write data is going to open up and write okay. So let's go, hold on. Source. Virtual environment. Okay, so then we want to, can't find this.
Mohan says, protest if no leak, Tim?
Indicator. Oh. Detail. Come on, Mike, focus.
Sybil
Okay.
says, yo.
Okay, so now we got this. Okay, so this is what's in here. So let's look up description. Okay, this is what we get. At the very top of the file, we get description. A structure depicts this compound, including computation. So that's not what we want. So what do we need to look up here? 700 instances of description in this? Oh my god. Okay, so let's go back to our, we can better suit ourselves by searching up. Let's search up this then. Oh, this is aspirin. So let's search up aspirin here. Let's search up this. Okay, it's down here. Okay, so what subheading do we get? So the TOC heading we get is names and identifiers.
Mohan says, Tim, we should find where Mike works and protest until we get Mike doing a lead on his lunch break. Back with Snack says hello again.
Yo, what's up? Names and identifiers.
Back with Snack says, just getting ready to put the kids to bed.
Nice, dude. Welcome back with snacks, dude. Okay, so okay. So it's in here. This is its own dictionary here. Okay, so we want TOC heading, but what is this within? Is this within anything? No, it's a comma. Ah. This is the hard part. So this is what we need out of it. So if we go back to our web scraper, we're just doing a search per pattern. So I don't think I want to, I'm not searching for a specific pattern here. Well, I guess I could search for a specific pattern of this, right? Of names and identifiers. So if I look this up, how many is there? 2 instances of this. 3, sorry. I wish I could format this better. How am I writing this? Just dumping with JSON file. I say indent 2. How did I get this before? Why is this giving me like all these actual... It starts with it. Why does it break? What if I just say right? No. I'm gonna take this and be like, I'm just gonna ask here. Why is my JSON.dump doing this? Parsing a string. Huh. Okay, so then let's say, rather than doing this here, we have get data here. Compound data string returns a text response. Okay, so let me go right here and do write data on response with a here. Plus.json. Object type method is not variable. This doesn't work because of why. Object, so type error. So if I have a response, there we go. Okay. Woo! Figured it out. We didn't even need. Okay, nice. Okay, so now we can easily see where stuff is. This is how I did it last time. Okay, so let's look up names and identifiers here. So this is where we're needing. So from record into section into information, TOC heading, so if I look up physical description, there's only 2 instances of physical description in the Okay, so physical description has 2 instances, which is here. So we want to parse. Okay, we might just want to take this in chunks. Okay, that might be the best approach. So let's see here. Let's go here and say get description. Sorry. Define get description.
That's what 2020 says. Wow, I just tried my friend's Lead Code daily editorial in a 280 chart tweet challenge, and that was really difficult. Mayo, how's your night?
How's it going, dude? It's going good. Not too shab, not too shab. Huh. So let me actually, really quickly, before we do this, I just tried my friend's Lead Code daily editorial. Oh, nice, dude. Did you end up getting it? All right, let's see. Do we need to, let's just really quickly, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to write this really quick again. I know we just did it, but I want to test one last thing. Right. So let's run this. There it goes. Here's our, right, and our text.
Devka 2020 says, barely link, haven't touched Twitter like a year.
Haven't touched Twitter. Oh, I don't have a Twitter either. I don't think I'll be able to see it. They're pretty strict about seeing their stuff if you don't have an account. Okay, hold on. So let's look up, we wanted physical description. So if we take this and let's say we parse the next. So let's say we come across a pattern. Can I get that row? Oh, I'm printing compound data. Data dict. Which is what's being returned. That's why it looks like this. Yes. Okay, so can I use a regular expression to stop on this row, or wherever it says physical description, and then just take the next, like, let's say 500 characters, right? I don't know, because it's, now we need to do it the other way, because I'm gonna have to scrape all of this stuff out, and it's gonna be different for every single one. Okay, let's go back to what we had before. Okay. Okay, let's just try some stuff now. Let's just try some stuff. Okay, this is what I did last time, right? So we get description of, right, a data, which is going to be in JSON.
Are you genius, bro?
No. Def not.
Ayushman says, HLO bro, do you want to play a chess game? Can
Okay, so we're going to say get description here. So let's say we're going to go into data, which is a JSON object.
Defines a genius, someone who works hard and gets good or just starts good.
Record section.
Hinami Spy says, in your opinion.
Does this section ever end?
Ayushman says, what is this sheet?
No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so we're gonna go into record, into section. Okay? So we're gonna go data. Let's just go here. So temp is equal to
Hinami Spy says, how much of SpectroSim is AI generated?
how much is AI generated? Almost like zero. Probably like, I mean, I learn from like AI through like unrelated examples. I'll have it show me like completely different examples of charts and things like that, just so I get the understanding of how the charts work, and then I'll merge it into my own formatting. But I wrote. You can go back and watch my streams. Besides maybe querying for some CSS help because that stuff is tricky. The styling and all that stuff is completely on my own here. This is what it looks like so far.
Yeah, I believe you, bro. Aurora Zir says, why not just grab the entire description? Only show a small amount by default and give them an option to click for more? Hinami Spy says, for a learning experience.
Okay, let's keep moving here. So get description. Yeah, I use the AI as my teacher. I mean, it's like, fairly as like a teaching fellow or something like that. I don't have a professor or a TA or something. I'm completely alone here. So just books, and then I'll read the books, and then I'll ask the AI questions to further deepen the knowledge on what the book talked about if I have questions, and to break it down. But mainly the books and stuff is what I've used to learn, and then just practicing here and stuff. Okay, so we want to go temp, so let's go into our data here, and let's grab, what do we want to grab? We wanted to grab record.
Wesley says, I am learning from the beginning. What do you recommend?
What are you learning, dude? What kind of stuff are you learning? Thanks for coming in, Wesley. Okay, so we have this, okay, and so let's just go ahead and quickly, let's just print temp here. And then we can pass in, get description here. Or let's just write. Let's write data on temp here with a 1. This comes in as a JSON object.
Wesley says,
So we have
I want
this.
to build automation framework.
Okay, so if response, we're going to say get description on response.json, right? So now we'll be able to see the right here.
Wolfie Master says, developers.
Hey, Wolfie, dude. Description is not defined. It's not defined. Not because I have it at the bottom. I write the wrong name. DESCRIPTION is not defined. I don't think it's got to come before here.
Wolfie Master says that's a Steve Ballmer reference.
It was. Okay, that worked. Okay, now we're getting the record. Perfect. Okay, so now let's go one step deeper. We're going to go into section. Okay. So let's go in one further. Go section. And let's run this one more time here. Okay.
Wesley says, what are you trying to build?
Okay, now we're getting sections here. Now let's go into section one more time. Right?
Beast says, hey pal.
Lots of people coming in, dude. Hey, Hasid, how's it going? We're building our SpectroSim right now, so it's a absorption spectroscopy simulator. So I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry, and I have a degree in, yeah, it's my degree, and I'm 26 years old, and I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company, and so I wrote this, wrote just an algorithm using Gaussian distribution, had to kind of did some research on that, and then to kind of generate bell curves, and then we did use the Beer's law, which is just a basic kind of chemistry law that's used to calculate absorbance. And so we were able to calculate absorbance across various wavelengths. And so if you guys think about that, you can just plot that. And then using Gaussian distribution, you can kind of predict like a waveform over that in the form of like a bell curve. And so you can predict like the absorption of compounds as like light passes through the various wavelengths. So I'll show you guys the front end of it here in a second, but we're working on the back end here. We're trying to parse out the description because our front end needs a description. I mean, let me load up the front end. Why not? Why not? CD into front end. Let's go npm run. Ah. Oh my gosh. Da, da, da. All right, so this is our simulators here. So this is a dummy plot. So yesterday we converted from matplotlib plot generation within just Python on the back end to actually using a front end rendering of plots using plotly.js. So and then we had to go through the weeds of trying to get it to size with our stuff, like not being a static image and using plotly, right? But we got that to work. So now we're trying to actually we have all of this information, but we need to now we're trying to get a description here. So then when we do these search, we set up the route API to actually get the search stuff. We haven't connected it yet though. But then we just need to get this. So now we can just populate it. Oh, nice, dude. That's awesome. That's really cool, man. Yeah, physics was, I remember doing a lot of studying for physics back in college. Learning memorizing all the equations. Those are gone now. Okay. Okay, so now we're getting section here, which is good. SpectroSim. We'll put that over. You guys keep asking what we're building, so I'll put that over there for a little, so you guys can see. Okay. You guys are here. Thanks so much for being here. Who's Steve Ballmer? Let's look up Steve Ballmer. I probably have heard of him before. Steve. Oh, yes. Steve Ballmer, the LA Clippers, Microsoft, yes. Mr. Dividends galore. React and Tailwind, we built it with. Okay. So, now we're getting sections. So if we run, let's go back to our Python here, terminal, and run this. Ah! Must be integers or slices, not strings. Interesting. Oh, okay, so this is a list. Okay, so we need to index into the list. Let's print the length of this list. Is it just one entry? 20. There's 20 entries on this list. Oof. Well, which one are we in? structure. Oh gosh. This is a new value here. I'm trolling. I do not want to have to go through and print. Okay, well, we can do some dirty programming here. Let's get our hands dirty. Okay, so let's go like this. For, right, it's a, for D in temp, or I'll say, we'll just say, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We'll just say section so you guys can follow along a little better. For section in temp, we're going to print, let's say, start, section, and then end, and then we're going to print 2 new lines. Oh my gosh, how could I forgot how to print new line. Did I not say Biochemist? Oh, I have to say it in the, right, cool. Okay, so we're gonna get some spacing here. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Okay, so now we have our sections here that we can kind of go through a little bit quicker. But I don't think it's, okay. So TOC heading. We can do this easier than this, actually. We can do this way easier than this. Let's go to, right, let's find the TOC heading that we're looking for. What was it called? Physical description here. So this is reference number 7 in information. So I don't want to say where the TOC heading is physical description. I want to. That's what I want. I want this guy here. So let's go. I'm gonna print the index of this guy. I don't want to have to loop through. I don't know also if each one has a section. Okay, so we can do this. Let's say, instead of printing each section, let's say, this is the compound data, which is in section here, which is what we're currently looking inside of. No, we're inside of this list. And we need to try to find the index of this section. And then return the value. Get its value, right? Okay, lots going on here. Let's keep breaking it down little by little. Okay, don't make it too complicated. So we need to loop over the section. Right, we're in this part here. Oh my gosh, come on. No, don't do this to me. My TTS not working? It is. Okay, so we're in this section here, and we need to loop over this list until we find a dictionary with the key of section. I don't want to have to go into this. How could I do this a little bit faster?
Tim says him back.
Hey, Tim. Okay, right, we're in this section here, and we're in this list that we're looping over. We need to loop over this list until we get to...
Tim says, yeah, bro, we pulling up with with pitchforks Mohan.
Oh, there's multiple sections in this. Okay. So we need to find then the list item. Where does this one come from?
Tim says, Mike, New York Knicks won. They're not going to Aruba just yet.
So this has a list. Where you have a dictionary as the first one. Okay, so we want to go into section index 0. Right. So let's go. Temp is. Oh, I'm getting confused now. Stay here with me, Mike. Stay with me. Come on, stay here. Okay, so we have temp, data. We're going into record and then into the section. So we're going into record and then into the section. So our temp variable is a list, which we need to go into index 0, which is a dictionary, and access the key of section. Okay, so let's go temp is equal to temp.
Says a list of objects, where one of the objects values is a list of objects like.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a mess. We're trying to figure it out. Okay, so we're going to go into index 0. We're going to go into, we're going to return the key temp index 0 with key of section here. Okay, now we have temp. So now let's go ahead and just, let's comment this out. Let's write data on temp here. Okay, perfect. Now we're getting this. Okay, nice. So now physical description should be in here. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not in this. It's not in this index. No. Which index is it in? Oh my gosh. Well, it looks like we're trying them all. It was pretty low down there, so I'm gonna try like. We had 20 indexes total. Am I gonna get lucky here? 10, 9. Gosh, dang it. 8. No, not pharmacodynamic. 7. Drug, no. 6. Nothing in 6. 5. Related compounds. 4. It's got to be closer to the top here. Spectra. No.
Tim says the pains of web scraping.
3. Computed properties. Oh, here we go. Okay. TOC heading computed properties. So index 3. Now, is that universal? I don't know. That's the thing. So if I change this to, let's see, if I change this to caffeine, is index 3 universal? Why does not work? I got caffeine back, but why did I not write here? Oh, this is it. Right? I think so. Let's go back to aspirin. No way. What? There's aspirin.
Slow says, can't you loop over objects and find the ones that contain the key?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the key. That's the problem. I don't know the key. Okay, so
Mav says, what a go.
computed properties. Hey, Seth. So if I say caffeine here and I delete this, is this the same? Does it just by nature have the same? Yeah, it does. Okay, so it's just trolling me. Is that even it though? So let's go back here. Comment that what's right here and see what we get. So physical description. Experimental properties. Okay, so it's in experimental properties. Now let's try this for aspirin as well. Experimental properties. Okay, we found it. We found it! So let's loop over. We're in this section now, but the thing is we need to, this is so frustrating. So our physical properties, but what is this section here? Here, which is just a key entry. Oh my god. What? What? Okay, so we have, so we're going into index section, which is a list. So if I bring this back, okay. So now I have another list where I need to go into it and find
Tim says, time for a for loop, Big Mike.
Yeah, I think so too. So for section, okay, let's go like this. For I in range length of temp, let's access data, or sorry, temp at index I, and go here and say section. Let's say if this return. Can I return this? If it exists? Is there a shorthand to say like, okay, without saying if? Here is going to be so if I have here equals to section, let's write the data here. Right. Well, that's not right. Let's just print. Oh. Key error section. If temp index I section.
Slow says if section in temp. I keys. Slow says IDK.
Yeah, maybe that'd be good too, right? If section in temp. Right, so if section in temp index I dot keys print temp index I section. Okay. Nice. Good job, Slow. So let's go here. Did we get any duplicates? Yes, we did. So there's multiple things we returned. Okay, so now we need to find which one of these has a...
Venkatesh says which language is this?
This is Python. So now let's go here and say... Okay, hold on. So if I search here and go physical description, I get no results. I think because it might be too far ahead. So, if section in here, okay, let's go here, physical description. So this has section.
YF says what are you building?
So we're gonna have to loop over these objects again, these dictionary objects, and find the one that has build in a spectroscopy simulator here. AbsorbSim, part of our SpectroSim project. Okay, so we need, so we have section, information. So physical description is way down, it's just down here. So this has a TOC adding experimental properties. So let's just try some stuff. So let's say, so I'm gonna say, so we're gonna have to nest another one for J. in range of temp index of I, right, we're going to have to say print temp building an extremely cool project and biotech recruiters. Nice, dude. So print temp index I index. So this would be index of J, and this is going to be, we'll take this same approach here. Oh, nope. Come back. And say if no, I'm just gonna at first let's just say print temp index J.
Just landed here. My fiance is biomolecular and biochemistry major. What connection do you see with biochem and programming? Since it tried to teach her, but she finds coding boring.
Nice. Yeah, dude. How's it going? Thanks so much for joining me and asking that question. I actually personally have, it's on my resume. I pitched a project, an ongoing project to actually automate a lot of kind of chemical computations that I do manually for formulating via like matrix arrays to predict like theoretical concentrations of solutions that I would potentially use as like a base to then build my products on top of. A base as in like not a basic solution, but a base as in like a physical base of like serum or human substance to then compile analytes on top of to simulate various ranges for these controls that I build as a chemist. And so I have to do these calculations by hand currently and kind of use a lot of intuition. So I pitched my company, and I was like, hey, I'm a programmer, I'm self-taught. If you can link me up with some bioinformatics engineers on the team or in the company somewhere, then I can build a tool here for us. I'm pretty sure we can build a tool together to do this. And so I'm currently, it's slowed down right now because I'm actually building physical product right now. I'm in the middle of one of my physical product kind of swings this quarter. But once I kind of die down and then start kind of going over analysis and improvements in product and and whatnot, product do like document reviews and stuff like that, then I'll have time to pick back up on the code, and I'll be coding at work now. So I've kind of pitched my way and be able to program at work, so I'm getting paid to kind of mess around with it. So in some time. So yeah, it's cool. There's definitely possibilities. That's just one. I'm doing some chemistry related related projects independently right now with SpectroSim, visualizing absorption spectroscopy simulators with Gaussian distribution. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, dude, definitely. If you're a programmer and she knows biochem, you guys could be a really big power couple. You guys got to dedicate and grind to it. Okay. You guys are here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Leave a thumbs up on the stream. We got a lot of people here. 23. Awesome. My name is Michael. I'm 26. I stream every single day around 7 p.m. PST after my 9 to 5 job as a chemist. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. Thanks so much for the follower goal met of 120. Thank you guys so much for following me on Twitch. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Let's do this one. Okay. Dict object cannot be returned. Type errors. Dict object cannot be interpreted.
Let's sub to Mike and get him to 2240.
2240. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, so we have dict object cannot be interpreted as an integer here.
Oh, so for key, val and temp. Items, then check if key is talk heading and val is physical description or whatever.
Yeah. So this might be the section. So it's saying here that, so let me go here. Let's print type of temp. Oh, this is why. We need to index j temp I into j. Oh, I'm trolling. Never mind. I guess I am trolling. Okay, hold on. Let's just print the type of temp. We can't access temp I index. So actually our loop is failing here. Oh, here we go. Not keys. Oh, okay, then I might be able to go back. Hold on. Go back. Wasn't reading where the error was. Dict keys cannot be interpreted as an integer. What are we... What am I doing? Let me go back. To here. So each section, what is a section then? So now we have, what is this? A bunch of lists, where each list is...
Slow says, are you missing land?
records. Okay. Then this ends, and then you get information. Okay, a list of dictionaries. Oh, this is just the next dictionary. So then this is a list. So it's just a single dictionary in here. Okay, so temp index I section. Okay, so then let's look up, we want to find physical. Okay, this is what we can do. So we can access here, so we'll say if temp index I section index 0, right? Index quote TOC heading equal to experimental properties right, print, I'll say print, let's just say print section okay, let's try this. If section in temp.keys if I go into that section, it's TOC heading, so is this going to give me a bunch of falses here? Yes. Where are we missing it? Experimental properties. Right, so the computed properties, experimental properties, molecular weight, computed properties. So if section in temp index I dot keys, if temp index I section in, okay, so this is not working. So I'll say this. Let's just go like this. Write data. This is why I added this on section I. Okay. Okay, here we go. So these are all the sections that were found. 2D structure, so this is not the one we're looking for. Record description. No. Computed properties, no. Okay, so somewhere in here is where it's at. Where are you? Where are you? Uh-oh, not looking good. Not looking good. Oh no. Dang it. We're in the wrong place. This is harder than a LeetCode problem. Ah! Okay. Let me get a drink real quick. Let me get a refill, and we'll keep going here. Give me 1 second.
The master says, why is he trying to do? Tim says harder than for some on LeetCode, while the master says well.
All right. Got some kettle chips here too.
Engaging in the kitchen.
Don't mind the crunch, boys. Got kettle chips on deck. Here we go. Crunch time. Okay. Okay.
Slow says for OBJ in 10. I. Section. Slow says assuming it's a list.
Let's write data temp I. Structures. It's not in there. It's not in there. It's not in there. It's in here. So what section is this? Chemical and physical properties. Okay. If chemical and physical properties, I'm sure I spelled that right. If chemical and physical properties in temp index I index 0. No, so temp index I is a dictionary. So I want if TOC heading so I say if temp index I TOC heading equal to chemical and physical properties, right? Let's just write data on temp index I for I here as the indicator. And then I'm going to come here and delete all of these guys. Oh, one step closer, boys. Stepping away for a little refill. Definitely helps. Okay. We reward ourselves with a chip for that one. Don't mind the crunch. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, now we're getting, so I'm going to say,
Slow says W chips.
temp index I. Okay. We override temp here. Now I'm going to say, so now this is what our temp looks like. Now we want to go into section. Could I use like recursion on this, you think? If I learned how it's actually formatted, there's probably a scheme to it. Do you think I recursively like dig down into it? Okay. So temp index I here. Now we're going to say write data temp index I or temp 1 here. So I'm gonna go here. Here. What?
Usman says hi mate. Just seen your channel on my feed and clicked on it. Can you talk about your journey so far? How long why been studying? What resources and how much progress you think you
Yeah, dude. How's it going, man? Yeah, my name's Michael.
202 says is the data source always going to be JSON or can you access this data via DB? Slow says for key. Valen 10. I items.
You're right. So we have physical and chemical properties here, which we're getting. Okay, let's do that for key value. Or no, hold on. So let's go here. I want to access section. Okay, here's the section. Now I say for section in here, which one do I want? Well, here's one. No, this is a part of this dictionary. This doesn't close until... Holy cow. All the way down here? Really? Now that one, okay. So here we go. Now I'm going to look for experimental properties. I think I could write a universal function to go, given the TOC heading, to call itself, right? I think we could set that up. But let's just get access to the info we want first. Okay. Sorry. I started programming 11 months ago with Python. I started with Harvard CS50P, and then after I did that course, I made this channel and started doing daily streams. One sub away from 2240, by the way. Hit that sub button. And so then I started doing streaming and doing like sessions a couple times a week, and then doing daily sessions, and that's when I really ramped up my progress. So I've been coding for about 11 months now. We made a couple projects, I think 5 projects right now, working on our 6th one, which is really cool. We completed Harvard CS50P, Harvard CS50X. We read most of DSA in Python. We still have a couple hundred pages left. We read a big chunk of Fluent Python. We've read almost all of ProGit. We've read all of Python Crash Course. So I highly recommend those resources. Those can be found in my Discord, link down below. Okay. Writing data section now. So now we need to say for section.
Duardo says, Indiana Pacers win this season, I think.
This is gonna suck, so.
Tim says Thunder in 5 God.
So sections is equal to temp index of I. Sections. Say for section in sections. Let's go if so this is a list of sections. We want to go if section, which is a dictionary, TOC heading equals experimental properties, we want that one. Equal to experimental properties, we want that one. Okay. We also can break this up into various functions too. So if section TOC heading is equal to experimental properties, then we're going to say so I could say break here out of this loop, and then come back here and say if sections can I access that variable in that loop if it's set? So I guess I'll say here, I'll say sections equals to none. And so if we override this, so I say if sections, rather than nesting everything, right? If sections for section in sections, if the section TOC has experimental properties, then we're going to write data on that section. Okay, let's see what we get now. Oops, section. Okay, now we're getting the experimental properties dictionary, and we need to get this section. So we're doing the same thing here. So I'm going to write a function called def get section. Given, you're going to be given a TOC heading, which is a stir, right? So we're going to say for, and you're going to be given a sections, which is a list. For section, so it'll basically be this, right? We'll take this, put this here, so say if sections, right? But we need to check, make sure that if sections index 0, so we have to first check if sections, then also check, right, and sections index 0
Simranjeet says, what are you going to build?
Is instance of a, we have to make sure that this is a dict, right? So if we have sections given and is instance sections index 0, meaning that whatever's in there is a dictionary, for section in sections, if the section TOC heading is equal to whatever string we put in here, TOC heading, right, we're going to say return section, I guess here.
Usman says, cool bro, we'll check it out, wish you the best. Crafted forage F3ZWU6YCX.
No, not the cheap viewers. Not the cheap viewers. Simranjeet, how's it going? This is our project off to the right here. we're building, we're trying to parse to get a description from this API call. It's a lot of work here, but we're almost there. Okay, so we're going to call, we'll take this and bring this up here. Okay. Right, if it's not instance, else raise else, right, we're going to say raise. Why is it doing that? Why did it do that? That doesn't make any sense. Just give me another space here. We're going to raise a value error and say sections not available, not no sections. We'll say right. So then we'll say this. If sections here, if is instance, then do this, and then we'll say else here raise value error.
He says, hey, how's it going?
How's it going, dude? Welcome back in. Apu TT.
Apu TT says, I came across a company that was hiring and recommended to me not long ago. Apu TT says, let me see if I can find it again. Apu TT says it seems like something you might
Oh,
be
nice.
interested in.
The plug. Thanks, dude. Yeah, sure thing. Okay. Else raise a value error where we say let's say TOC heading equal to TOC heading
Apu TT says, link.
not
Apu
found
TT says this place.
network.bio.
TT says not sure if it's something that sounds interesting to you. Apu TT says but maybe it's stuff you know about.
This place? Network bio?
Apu TT says yeah.
Got this journey. That front end right there is terrible though, how it blends with the
Apu TT says
image in the
seems to have to
background.
do with biochem stuff maybe.
Abundantly clear as crucial for advice. Builds one React app, starts critiquing companies on their React app, on their responsiveness. Raise across academia, nice. Huh. Yeah, dude, shoot me some info on the in Discord if you don't mind. I'll check it out after stream.
Apu TT says, I don't understand what they do. Apu TT says, I don't have.
I might have to reach out to him. Send him my stuff. Be like, yo, you guys hire him? Here's my stuff.
Apu TT says the recruiter just reached out and said they're hiring.
Send him my website,
Apu
michaeldeming.com.
But it's not something I know much about, so I passed on it.
So yeah, let me recommend you a guy. michaeldeming.com. Send him that. I do need to add like a contact for michaeldeming.com. There is no way for a recruiter to actually contact me because I don't list my email. I don't list my well, I guess I give my LinkedIn, but I don't list my phone number, right? I'm not gonna just put that on the website. Okay. So TO sitting not found in sections. Okay, so we're going to say, instead of this then, okay, so temp is a list. So we're kind of jumping the gun on this one by using this and then getting TOC heading and then checking, right?
Tim says to get in contact with Mike, you have to get in touch with his lawyer.
Okay, so we can say temp is record section. So we're going to say, pardon me. Whoops. For, can I call get section given
Eduardo says Lameo.
temp, get temp section given temp, and the TOC heading we're looking for is this guy here, right? Chemical and physical properties. And then we'll say so what is temp here? Really quickly here. Oh. What? Where's my error? Oh. Okay. So this is, temp is a list of sections. Okay. And we're looking for a TOC heading of what? Chemical and physical properties. Yeah. So we're going to get section. That'll eliminate the need for this here. Sections is equal to this.
Eduardo says, is this Python? It's easy to read the code. Never see a language like this.
Yeah, it's Python. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so maybe I should, if you don't find, oh, else is instance. So this is, hold on, we're gonna, so this is gonna, oh no, let's put this back to how we had it before then. Let's have that one error check it, so no sections to parse. And at the end of this loop, if we're gonna say we're gonna return none here, right? So then on web scraper, we say get description. We have a sections here. Okay, so we say sections equals to get section on temp chemical physical properties. Let's go if sections, let's write data on sections with a 1 here, and let's comment out this here. Okay. Okay, so we got chemical and physical properties here. Perfect. So now we can keep just calling this function down, which is a lot cleaner than we had before. So we can say if sections, right, we're going to call the get sections again on sections.
Reddit says, wait, how did you comment stuff out like that?
You can just highlight and command, and I'm not sure what it is on Windows, I'm sorry, but you can look it up. But command and question mark or command /. You can comment, and it's universal for the language. It's a VS Code shortcut. You can also just do it on a blank line to just start a new comment rather than having to remember which comment syntax it is, which is really nice. Another one I really like too is you can go like this. You can highlight and hold Shift Option down arrow to duplicate. I do that one a lot as well.
Reddit says, oh, okay, I see Todd.
Hey, Dear Titan, welcome in, dude. You guys are here. Appreciate it if you guys left a like. If you guys are enjoying the content. We're one sub away from 2240. Sorry about the Okay. Now we want to get.
Says, wait, is this from Python or from code editor?
Is this from Python or from code editor? What do you mean, Eduardo? This is Python, but I'm in VS Code. What do you mean? Okay.
Tim says, crunchy asmer. Eduardo says, I can't do that in Kotlin.
Oh, it might be a Python thing then. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a different hotkey. I'm not sure. Maybe I misspoke. I'm sorry. Okay. So now we're going to get section of this. And we're going to save this to sections is here. Born to code. Hey, 2240! Thank you guys so much for 2240. Appreciate you guys so much. You guys are awesome, truly. You guys really motivate me to keep coming in daily, and I get a lot of you guys' messages on my Discord telling me, I've gotten probably like 10 to 15 so far of just people saying that they really enjoy the content, that they find it inspiring, and you guys inspire me to keep going too. So it's mutual. This is a what's it called? What's it called in biology, where two organisms rely on one another? There's symbiote, which is symbiote, which I think is just one relies on the other, but the other one doesn't receive anything. Anybody remember what that is called? Okay. So we're going to get this. We're going to write sections, experimental properties. Wait, what am I doing?
Ashwin says, yo.
Experimental properties. Yeah, we're going to get sections, save this as sections, and write it.
Probably. I see you've got a React frontend on the right, and building some API on the left that is parsing data. That's probably scrape.
We're building some API on the left that's parsing data. That's probably... Yeah. What is commensalism? Oh, comment. Are you talking about the bio thing? Mutualism. So mutualism is both of us. Yeah, we are mutual. We both benefit from one another, studying and helping each other improve and keeping each other accountable here. Okay, so we have, my cursor's all weird though. Okay, so we have, this is giving me a key error down here, right? For my right sections. So this doesn't have any. Oh. Oh, shoot. So, hold on. Oh, this is a dictionary. Okay, so this is a dictionary, so we can't use this function on this. We need to get its section, though. Huh. So what if I do here sections? I go here, go section. Now I go through. Okay, perfect.
Aspirin, correct. Aspirin, is that a typo?
Oh, probably. Yeah. I think it's just auto correcting to it, the nearest one. The API is pretty good at that. Yeah, 2244, both of them are the same. Yeah, it's just a typo. Interesting that the API handles the autocorrect. Ah. Maybe it has a different an alias as well. Synonyms. Maybe one of them is without the I, like in a different language or something. By coincidence. Oh well. Okay. Now we are getting the experimental properties. Now I want to go and get section here. Okay, so I'm going to say
Clark says hello, code man.
how's it going, dude? If sections, get section. And then the thing we're going to do is going to be for section physical description. Okay, now let's write sections here. Do we get it? Yes, we get it. And we got physical description. Good. Now we need to get just the value of the description key.
Horyonks88 says, hey, how's it going, mom, and working on JSON payloads?
How's it going, dude? Welcome back in, Orion. Hey, Clark. Welcome in, dude. I appreciate you for joining me again. Okay, so then we just need to say description or compound description, right, is equal to sections dot get, right? We're going to get description. description dot get. If there's none, we'll supply a none value here. Wait, do you put in the dot get? Do I put in the key into?
What are you making?
I forgot. Do I put the key into here and then do this and then do that? Dict.get. Is it key none? All right. Yeah, that's right. So then we say if comp return compound description if compound description else arrays else. Well, if it gets none, then we're going to say can you not say this like in here with this kind of syntax? I'm just going to return the compound description for now. If we want to do some error handling, we can figure that out later. So let me see if I can write my write data. Does that have JSON baked into it? No. Data one. All right, moment of truth. Do you guys think we got the description here? It's been a long time working on this, an hour and 50 minutes trying to parse this daggum JSON. Come on, show me the money. Oh, let's freaking go. Now I wonder if we can change this. Let's try methyl blue. Oh, this has no UV sim data. Right. But did we get this?
Tim says meth.
That's really the string that's returned for... No! What is the description for methylene blue? See, why can't I get that? Oh, that sucks. So then where is the sucker at? Organic chloride salt having this. Really? Here. Names and identifiers. Huh. Okay, let's go into our web scraper. Let's remove this. Let's call we're calling get description within the here if response. So we're gonna go write data response.json 1.
Tim says regular expression after string. Tim says, we're cooked.
We're cooked, boys. We're calling CID get data, write data response.json. Oh, it's writing here. Okay, so now if I search this, string markup. So we want to go to names and identifiers. Which is in record section. Structures section. Okay, let's go web scraper. Let's go. This shouldn't be that hard to adjust here. So we have record section. We want to go to, so this might be the better description. We want to go to record section. And what's the TOC? We're looking for names and identifiers. I'm not going to spell that. Names and identifiers. Right? So now we have this. Now we're going to go into names and identifiers. We're going to go into its section. We're going to go into the information. Ah, this is annoying. Names and identifiers. So we want to now go into section. So we say if. So we're going into sections. We're wanting to access its quote information, okay? If sections, we want to go access this information's string or value. There's multiple though. Let's just grab the first one then, I guess. Information for section in. Value. So I say I have access to value. This isn't the TOC heading though, no. Record description. Oh, this is so annoying. So we want to go TOC heading names and identifiers, access its section, record description, and just access its information. Okay. Names and identifiers. Let's do some printing. Let's do some, yeah. Write data sections.
There says it might help to write down the access order.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know the access order. That's the thing. So names and identifiers. We're going to access the section. Say this, I'm gonna say write data here. Comment this. Null. Record and description. No, it's going to give me that one. Okay, I'm going to go up to my thing here, my get section. I'm going to type in, this is just going to be heading. I'm going to say key is going to be a stir, right? So then what I'm going to say is equal to, so if this is going to be heading, and this is going to be key here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say get section. This is for TOC heading. If sections, we're going to get section. This is for the section, the heading we're looking for, which is information. No. So if names identifiers is the TOC heading key that we're looking for inside of temp. Now we're looking for the TOC heading record description, but that'll give us just this individual. It'll give us the whole thing. Yeah. So this is also going to be TOC heading, but this is going to be record description here. With TOC heading. Okay. Now if we write that, what do we get? Perfect. Now we're getting record description. Now we want to get access the information so we'll say write data. So now we have sections, which is this guy here. So we want the information key and value. So we'll say get sections this is, I'm gonna save it. I'm just gonna make this T, whatever for right now. This is gonna be information, right? We're gonna say if T so we're gonna have a list here. We're gonna call the get section for if here, go into the first value and get the value out of there.
Smatty Matty says, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. What's up, Smatty Matty? Get a string value. Say T is equal to, we're gonna get the value. So now if I call write here,
Maddie says I'm feeling alright.
Nice, dude. Okay, perfect. Now we want to go into the string with markup key and get its value.
Maddie says you are the creator of SpectroSim?
Yeah. String with markup, none. Yeah, that's what's on the right over here. We're building it right now. So t equals t.get string markup, none, else none. So if t, right, what are we gonna do?
Maddie says wow.
Put this here. That's right. String.
Maddie says and for what purpose?
It's a chemical spectroscopy simulator, so you can simulate absorption spectroscopy and hopefully a couple others that we program in here. Get the value of string with an index 0. Get string. Right, data T.
John says the logo itself is enough purpose.
All right, there we go. Oh my gosh. Now, does this even work for other compounds though?
Maddie says oh okay. Godlike 1688 says, hello sir WHTU creating?
Hey, how's it going, Godlike? We're building SpectroSim. This is working with Fast API in Python. Okay, so now we're getting the string. So now if I type in, let's type in caffeine and run it. Yes! Okay, we got it. Woo!
Godlike 1688 says, WHT it does sir.
Yeah, it does use chemical spectroscopy, so absorption spectroscopy simulators using Gaussian distribution and pulling data from web scraping from PubChem's API.
Capital W.
All right, we got it, guys. So now let's go return.
Master says you need a command or pin it at that top of chat. John says we out here.
I know, I need to pin it. SpectroSim.
Maddie says wow. D. Maddie says very nice. Maddie says it is a Flask project? Michael says, SpectroSim is an absorption spectroscopy simulator for viewing chemical sims online. Mitchell Deming says, SpectroSim
There we
is
go.
an absorption spectroscopy simulator for viewing
We're using Fast API.
Master says pro streamer.
So we return to stir here.
Maddie says Fastapi. D. Maddie says Oka.
Okay. Okay, so now what we can do is we have here, right, where we don't need to write this anymore. We're gonna get description. This is gonna return a description. Right, this is gonna return a description. Get description. And then we have compound data string, response text. And I'm going to also say compound dict, compound, I'm going to say description is equal to compound description. So I'm going to say try this, right, except a value error as E. We'll catch it and we'll say compound description is equal to we're just going to say or we'll say we'll put the E here. So right, this has no description found. And we'll put in here into this F string so we can insert. We'll put into here compound dict index name.
Jandir says sup dude.
Sup dude? How's it going? Appreciate you for coming in. Jandir, welcome. What you been working on? We'll do name here. We'll do a number, hashtag sign here, and we'll do CID here. Okay. So if we'll set the value error to that, or the compound description to no description for compound CID, compound dict name, right? Period. And then that gets saved into the compound dict. Okay, so now you guys, ready? I think we're ready to put this together. Okay, let's clear out our terminal.
Jandir says I got started with some web development. What about you?
Nice, dude. We've been working on our project. Finally got our parser to work for getting a description. Now we're adding it into the actual data frame for each compound that is being generated, our data structure, and then we're going to save that into our cache. Right, so this is our cache of compounds that were previously searched by users, so we don't have to query the API every single time. We're going to save them into this JSON cache and then quickly reference them by name for quick lookups with keys in Python to just pull that and then send that information to the front end rather than bugging PubChem to do previous work. So then now what we can do, guys, is we can test this out. Ready?
Anand says hey, a little late today.
So let's go here. Right? So then what we can do here is we have caffeine. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clear. I'm going to delete this. And we're going to run.
Says, that sounds amazing, brother. Keep up the good work.
We're going to run our API here, right? So this does everything. So
Chandler says, how long you've been working on your project?
So extract. So hold on one second. So if we get a value error from extract, abs spectro, absorption spectro, right? This will raise a value usually not found. Okay, so it'll throw the error. And so then what we're doing with the error is we're catching it here and printing it as our return to the, okay. So now what we can do is we can go, here. Now we'll turn it. There we go. Okay. So now we're connected to our we've connected our back end to just a simple front end here. And so now we can test to see if this is working, right? So we have our cache file here. Which I know there's a lot going on the screen right now, but just bear with me. Okay, so now let's try this out. So if I call here, oh, how did we do this? So we have to call. We have to call this get this endpoint. We have to say query name equals to aspirin, or let's say name equals to Michael first. Make sure our error is working. Internal server error. 404 not found. Catching a class that is not here from base exception is not allowed. Oh. Okay, now let's try it. Okay, perfect. Detail invalid compound name Michael, which is throwing from our 404, which is catching that error as E, which is this string here. Perfect. So now's the question. So, and our cache is empty, right? We have no cache. This was a failed search. So now let's see, guys, if I run aspirin here, we should get it in our cache, and we should get a description as well. Ready? Does all of our work today pay off? Give me ones in chat if we're good, zeros if not. Here we go. Ready? Oh, what happened? Okay, we got this. Our cache loaded up. Yes! 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 Woo! Now if we search up, let's do methylene blue.
Yashek says,
no, so I got an error here, right? No UV vis data. Oh, so methylene blue didn't even work because it had no UV vis data. Because the error got thrown here. And the extract and the saving is happening in the extract. That's why, right? So because it doesn't have spectrum data, we're not caching it because it's unsuccessful, which makes sense, right?
Murphy says, meanwhile, an MBBS students learn programming.
Meanwhile, a MBBS students learn programming. What do you mean by that, Murphy's? And masters in BBs? What is BBs? Bio... MBBS. Okay, so right, we're calling here in the get data via CID. We're getting the description here within this function, and we're setting it if it's not there. And then we're returning this. Then we get expect app data, and this returns. So it caught the error, so it's not going to cache it. Right, so in our main function here, this is our cache right here, where we're caching things. This is getting thrown an error, so it never gets to the cache. Gotcha. So now let's try, let's do caffeine. Right, ready? Let's go to our here. Let's see caffeine pop up. Ready? Oh, woo! Yes. Nice. So that's really cool. I'm super happy with that. So the thing is one last thing I want to check. I know this might seem annoying, but okay, so on web scraper, I'm gonna write data.
John says noise.
I'm gonna write data of information here of T. So here I'm gonna say write data T with a 1, right? Okay. So this is the string with markup that we got. Do we have a reference? Reference number 5. Okay, so this is the reference here. Okay, so this is the reference. So we do, this is the citation here. So it is wise for us to, if we're going to be scraping this and quoting someone else's words and putting it on our website, we need to include the citation as well. Okay, so here we're going to information value. So this is the information. And we're going into the value here within the 0. Okay. So we just need to grab the extended reference. Return the extended reference as well. So this is going to be the description. Just a t-dot get. Save description here. But then I'm going to say reference is equal to t index 0 dot get extended get so let's just get reference. Right, we're going to get this value. I will say if reference description. Get this reference. Oh, hold on. What am I doing here? I think I messed things up. So here we're going to say ref equals to this index 0 if ref So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to package this together. So if reference here say if t here as well, right? So I have to make sure I have t, else none. Ref equals to this. Say ref so if ref okay. So if we have a ref, we're going to go ref equals to ref index 0 string, and then we're going to say return this is going to be description. Dictionary we have
Rabin says hello there.
right, so no matter what, we're going to return the description with the ref, even if it's none. No description found. Okay, so now if I delete this and run, what the heck? It's my unicorn. Ref index 0. So if
Sean
ref
says, what's your fab chemical?
save chemical. Not sure. Think about that.
Rabin says, what's your end goal for learning this
Oh,
stuff? John says mine is oxycodone.
I want to get the reference. Yeah. So now we can get this. There we go. We got the reference now. Perfect. Okay. So now if I run this online, ready? We don't have anything in cache, but if I refresh, boom. Woo! We got the reference. Right? So now we can query our database here. Or not our database, but we can go aspirin. There it is. With no reference. Interesting. So why? I want to see why there's.
Capital W.
I want to see. Let me write info for aspirin. So this has reference number, value, string here. There is no reference for this specific one. This one has a reference on 7. But there is no description of the physical description here. This one has one. Right, it's white and colorless. Okay, cool. There is no reference for this one. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. So then what's like another one we can test out? What are some compounds on pub? Benzoic acid I know is one. Right? So no reference for benzoic acid on the, it appears as white as crystalline, slightly soluble in water. So if I go here, so let me do web scraper, we'll do benzoic acid here. So this has reference, physical description. Here's this with no actual reference in this reference number. Okay, cool. Let's do benzene. Let's see if that one works.
Christopher says, how from
There we
where
go.
are you web scraping?
Alright, we got benzene with no reference either. Benzene is a colorless sweet liquid. Haha! Hi, from where are you web scraping? We are doing this from PubChem for our SpectroSim. So this is our front end in React here, where we're going to be populating this information into these this chart here, and then into this description, and then they'll have the button here to generate a plot, which will be cool. So I will need like a dummy image though to be here though, by default. We'll have to figure that out when it comes. All right, let's try. Let's do like maybe one or two more. Let's see. What other ones are there? We got phenol. Let's see if that one's in there. No UV vis data for phenol. How about for aniline? No. What about quinidine? Quinidine's got one.
Labuda08 says, how is the job market in your country?
Not that great. Biotech is brutal right now. Hiring freezes across the board for companies. All people's money is going towards AI and gambling on AI. All right, riboflavin. That one's got data. What about sodium chloride? No UV vis data for sodium chloride. What about potassium? Potassium chloride. No. Beta carotene. Ah, we got beta carotene. See, now we're caching these results so that the user doesn't have to do these, so it doesn't have to slow our server down. We can just pull from here first.
Learning this tech stuff.
For fun. It's fun. All right, you guys. Any last minute questions before I sign off today about what we did? So this was really successful. We were able to go back into our parser for actually scraping this web.
08 says, have you ever worked with the LIS, Laboratory Information System?
Yeah, like there's one of them called like, I'm not sure if it's actually an LIS really, but it's like QAD is another acronym for it. It's like it's a type of system built for like inventory management and chem stores and all that kind of jazz. I kind of made my own kind of small, very, very small version of it in Python for my CS50P final project. Just a very, very simple CSV kind of tracking some class objects through a file. Very, very simple project. All right, cool. One more, benzene. Should we push our luck? One more?
John says maybe you can run a little script to query a list of compounds to fill your cache.
Here's benzene. Did already looked up benzene. So that's, see my cache, look. Yeah, so that's what we could do, John, is we could pre-fill our cache. So we could just scrape their API for like, you know, we could ask ChatGPT to give us like a list of 1,000 or 5,000 compounds offered by PubChem with potential UV data, and then literally just run a loop over this and cache 5,000 compounds from them, and then we can just start with that as our base point, right? Run a little script to query. I like that, John. Thanks so much for joining me here, you guys. Please subscribe and follow along if you're on Twitch and YouTube. Please like the stream if you're on YouTube. It really, really helps to keep pushing our stream forward. We're almost to 2250 subs, so thank you guys so much for subbing along. I stream every single day after my 9-to-5 job as a chemist. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry, and I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company where I make biological controls that are used for like advanced and very like niche parameter analytical testing, like for various ranges of like proteins or enzymes, very sensitive like testing results like in the nanometers to microliters and things like micrograms per mil and stuff like that. Yes. Very, very nice here, you guys. I appreciate you being here. So today we were able to successfully alter our web scraper to allow for getting a description, right? So we wrote this little helper function for get section, kind of like a recursive function almost, to just loop and continually go deeper into the JSON data to extract what we wanted. It was just really, really dense, so we had to figure that out. And then we were able to find the endpoints for getting the description for the compound looked up and the reference for the compound looked up. And just based off that, now we're able to cache those results here. As you can see, we have caffeine here is cached, aspirin here is cached, benzoic acid is cached, benzene is cached. So it has the description reference. If there is no reference for that description object on the JSON, then it's null. But we're also getting its UV data here, and so we can actually start generating some of these graphs now. They have a section on bulk download. What do you mean? Huh. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. I really, really appreciate it. It was super fun building this with you guys. We're gonna let's go ahead and push this up to the hub. Get add here. Add description, or add scraper for compound description and reference.
Labuda08 says, I work in a company that builds software for laboratories, and it would be a dream for them to have biochemist developers.
I work in a... Nice, dude. Yeah, put me on here, bro. Put me on. Put me on. Yeah. My goal was around June, like the end of June, to start throwing out some applications, maybe seeing if I could get an interview and start trying that process. So put your boy on. Modified cache results. All right.
Labuda08 says him from
From Brazil. Hey, we going to Brazil. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here and joining me today. It was a lot of fun building this portion of our project. This is our front end, right? It's gonna error on me when I parse out of here, but this is our front end where we're trying to scrape our database for this various information, the description, and then some various, the CID number, the compound name, the lambda and epsilon max, and then we can generate the plots. I already have the plot generation algorithm made in Python here with generated absorption based on Gaussian distribution factored values for certain wavelengths, so which is cool. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here and joining me tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Please join the Discord where you can get access to all of my resources and talk to me offline. I love chatting with you guys there. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, guys. See ya.